The tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrant. Nothing can stop the man with the right mental attitude from achieving his goal, nothing on earth can help the man with the wrong mental attitude. The care of human life and happiness, and not their destruction, is the first and only object of good government. I hope we shall crush in its birth the aristocracy of our moneyed corporations which dare already to challenge our government to a trial by strength, and bid defiance to the laws of our country. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Educate and inform the whole mass of the people. They are the only sure reliance for the preservation of our liberty. I have sworn upon the altar of God, eternal hostility against every form of tyranny over the mind of man. Timid men prefer the calm of despotism to the tempestuous sea of liberty. Question with boldness even the existence of a God, because, if there be one, he must more approve of the homage of reason, than that of blindfolded fear. I tremble for my country when I reflect that God is just, that his justice cannot sleep forever. In matters of style, swim with the current, in matters of principle, stand like a rock. The glow of one warm thought is to me worth more than money. Nothing gives one person so much advantage over another as to remain always cool and unruffled under all circumstances. Peace, commerce and honest friendship with all nations, entangling alliances with none. Never spend your money before you have earned it. Leave all the afternoon for exercise and recreation, which are as necessary as reading. I will rather say more necessary because health is worth more than learning. I never considered a difference of opinion in politics, in religion, in philosophy, as cause for withdrawing from a friend. One man with courage is a majority. Merchants have no country. The mere spot they stand on does not constitute so strong an attachment as that from which they draw their gains. I would rather be exposed to the inconveniences attending too much liberty than those attending too small a degree of it. But friendship is precious, not only in the shade, but in the sunshine of life, and thanks to a benevolent arrangement the greater part of life is sunshine. Commerce with all nations, alliance with none, should be our motto. The natural progress of things is for liberty to yield and government to gain ground. We never repent of having eaten too little. Fix reason firmly in her seat, and call to her tribunal every fact, every opinion. Question with boldness even the existence of a God, because, if there be one, he must more approve of the homage of reason, than that of blindfolded fear. Whenever you do a thing, act as if all the world were watching. Experience hath shown, that even under the best forms of government those entrusted with power have, in time, and by slow operations, perverted it into tyranny. Our greatest happiness does not depend on the condition of life in which chance has placed us, but is always the result of a good conscience, good health, occupation, and freedom in all just pursuits. A Bill of Rights is what the people are entitled to against every government, and what no just government should refuse, or rest on inference. Sometimes it is said that man cannot be trusted with the government of himself. Can he, then be trusted with the government of others? Or have we found angels in the form of kings to govern him? Let history answer this question. A wise and frugal government, which shall restrain men from injuring one another, shall leave them otherwise free to regulate their own pursuits of industry and improvement, and shall not take from the mouth of labor the bread it has earned. Mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. When angry, count to 10 before you speak. If very angry, count to 100. Rightful liberty is unobstructed action according to our will within limits drawn around us by the equal rights of others. I do not add within the limits of the law because law is often but the tyrant's will, and always so when it violates the rights of the individual. Determine never to be idle. No person will have occasion to complain of the want of time who never loses any. It is wonderful how much may be done if we are always doing. Enlighten the people generally, and tyranny and oppressions of body and mind will vanish like evil spirits at the dawn of day. All, too, will bear in mind this sacred principle, that though the will of the majority is in all cases to prevail, that will to be rightful must be reasonable, that the minority possess their equal rights, which equal law must protect, and to violate would be oppression. We may consider each generation as a distinct nation, with a right, by the will of its majority, to bind themselves, but none to bind the succeeding generation, more than the inhabitants of another country. The whole commerce between master and slave is a perpetual exercise of the most boisterous passions, the most unremitting despotism on the one part, and degrading submission on the other. Our children see this, and learn to imitate it. If the present Congress errs in too much talking, how can it be otherwise in a body to which the people send 150 lawyers, whose trade it is to question everything, yield nothing, and talk by the hour?